Colonel Heathman, you're up.
Hey, it's so great to meet and hear your story. Damien, I just want to say one thing real quick. I had the honor of carrying some of your teammates in the back of my C-17 in Afghanistan a couple times in the early days, and I always wondered how the ginger was going to blend in. There was one ginger in the group, but I really appreciated carrying some allies in and out of those combat areas. I'm very curious on a strategic level. Which nations and who are which nations are heavily involved in supporting your efforts, either it be operationally or from a policy standpoint? I'm curious, like which ones are kind of those mentors or the ones to follow?
Look, there's a lot of external pressure from a policy level that comes from overseas, and it creates a lot of resentment here on the ground with this sort of Western ideology of how Africa should operate, which is fair enough. So, I mean, I don't get stuck in the middle of that because it's not my fight to fight. I get asked a lot, like, what does the Zimbabwean government or the Tanzanian government, South African government, what do they give you to help do all this? And I say, they give us something more valuable than money. They give us mandate. You could have all the money in the world, but if you come over here and you have no mandate to operate, then how can you go out and scope a long-term strategy, decades long, with local communities that's going to be able to change the way that we look at conservation or community-led conservation? So we essentially have to roll with whatever the policy is going to be, whatever the changes are going to be, the regulations. I mean, I said we focus a lot on former trophy hunting areas. If you look at Africa's conservation portfolio, 30% of that is protected under a federal mandate as a national park. The other 70% of that is what's called a secondary protected area. And a lot of the historical economic income from those areas has been trophy hunting. So now you've got year 2026, you've got less people that want to shoot animals and take them home and sit them above the fireplace. You've got less animals to shoot, and you've got tougher policy and regulation separating the product from the customer. So the actual argument about trophy hunting doesn't matter, and we don't want to look at it as an argument to be had. It's an equation to be solved. If hunting is going to fail here, and with it is going to go all the anti-poaching and the management and the fences and everything, and the land cruisers, all that stuff that was here helping to protect these animals, it's gone. The argument doesn't matter. All that matters is a solution. And so we look at a solution in that aspect to a failing or a change in regulation. To talk down to the bottom line, our biggest investor is by far the United States of America. You're sitting right on top of that gold mine there for people that give a shit about what's going on around the world. I think the people in America care about animals and ecosystems in Africa because they realize these are not just a country's animals or assets to own. It's a global community, and we rely on this, the impact that protecting millions and millions of acres provides to the global narrative that we're in at the moment.